Despite being based on Colleen Hoover's best-selling book, It Ends With Us features a dramatic conclusion that modifies the original work to emphasize the message of overcoming abuse and moving on. The narrative centers on a woman named Lily Bloom, portrayed by Blake Lively, who as a youngster witnessed her mother being abused and vowed never to endure such cruelty herself. Regretfully, she meets Ryle Kincaid, a neurosurgeon, at her father's funeral and finds herself drawn to him right away. After Lily inadvertently employs Ryle's sister at her flower store, they reconnect months later. Lily tells Ryle to stop, but he persists, pushing her boundaries and trying to get close to her. After Ryle wears Lily down, they begin dating. Despite the positive beginning of their relationship, Ryle begins abusing Lily. She doesn't comprehend the gravity of the situation until she runs across Atlas again, her childhood sweetheart, who detects the domestic abuse right away. With Atlas's assistance, Lily visits the hospital following a failed attempt at rape and finds out she is pregnant. The poignant and upbeat conclusion of It Ends With Us, which highlights the resilience of abuse survivors, is the result of this discovery. The two most impactful scenes in the It Ends With Us movie adaptation are when she physically runs away from Ryle after he tries to rape her, and when she demands a divorce, symbolizing her emotional separation from him. She physically abandons Ryle because she fears for her life. Her choice seems to be automatic and motivated by a flight reaction. Later, she makes the mental decision to leave Ryle because of her daughter and refuses to go back to him. Despite her love for Ryle, Lily understands that it is her duty as a parent to provide Emerson with a better life than she did. Furthermore, Lily is aware of how simple it is to become enmeshed in an abusive cycle, having witnessed what occurred to her mother. Lily sobs to Atlas about how she wasn't meant to be her mother in one of the most heartbreaking scenes that doesn't include abuse. She didn't realize that IQ had no bearing on abuse. She mistakenly believed that she was too intelligent to enter into an abusive relationship. But because of her father, she became so numb to the warning signs of abuse that she failed to see them in Ryle. In the end, Lily's decision to leave Ryle is a truly heroic deed, particularly considering that, according to JBOS, leaving a domestic abuse victim is their most vulnerable moment. Fortunately, she chooses to share the news of the divorce publicly, which reduces some of the risk. In the film, she also doesn't appear to have a co-parenting arrangement with Ryle, which is a significant departure from the novel that serves to safeguard her child. Due to their past, Atlas is the first person in It Ends With Us to realize that Ryle is abusing Lily. In their adolescent years, the two met together. Due to an unpleasant family environment, Atlas became homeless. While residing in the abandoned house next door, he fell in love with Lily. Because of their friendship, Atlas was aware of the mistreatment taking place at Lily's residence. Lily's father almost killed him as well. Atlas was well positioned to identify the warning signals of domestic abuse due to his personal experience and observation of Lily's family life. Furthermore, Ryle finds out the first day he meets Lily that Atlas and she had sex when they were teenagers. Furthermore, Lily has a heart tattoo that symbolizes the hollow wooden heart that Atlas crafted just for her. This period of their past becomes significant to the plot when Ryle utilizes Lily's romantic past with Atlas as justification for mistreating her. To be clear, abusing someone is never justified. Even in the unlikely event that Lily had cheated on Atlas, which she never did, Ryle's abuse would be unacceptable. Before Lily sees Atlas again, Ryle exhibits a number of warning signs, including compulsion, control, and boundary crossing. Ryle can use Lily and Atlas' history to rationalize his disgusting actions. Subliminal messaging is used in both Colleen Hoover's book and the film version to illustrate the abuse cycle. A noteworthy illustration of this can be found in the similarities between Ryle and Lily's father, Andrew Bloom. Both Ryle and Andrew Bloom are strong guys who have prominent positions that bring them recognition. When Ryle goes to work, he genuinely has people's lives in his hands. As mayor of his town, Andrew Bloom had the power to affect everyone's life in the community. Because their careers provide them authority and control, both individuals are more likely to engage in domestic abuse. In addition to their shared traits, Andrew Bloom and Ryle are endearing and captivating. Nevertheless, Andrew's charm is more evident in the novel than in the film. Abusers usually don't abuse everyone around them, unlike these two It Ends With Us characters. Because of their attractiveness and charisma, they are able to entice victims and carry on abusing them without help. In the end, these similarities are crucial in illuminating how abuse occurs and the reasons Lily becomes entangled in the pattern. Colleen Hoover's book is significantly altered in the It Ends With Us movie. including whether Alyssa is aware of Ryle's violent past. It's unclear from the source material if Alyssa is aware that Ryle has the potential to be abused. But during Lily's interaction with Alyssa near the end of the film, it is made clear that Alyssa was unaware of the abuse. Alyssa is no longer as responsible for her brother's conduct because to this modification. She also adds extra significance to it when she threatens Lily, saying that if she returns to Ryle, she would never talk to her again. Throughout it ends with us, the oak tree in Lily's childhood home's backyard serves as a significant symbol. In the Altas and Lily flashback, the two talk about how love is necessary for flowers, fruits, and vegetables to develop. But an oak tree can grow no matter how well cared for because it is self-sufficient. The oak tree symbolizes Lily as a character, even though she thinks of herself more as the vegetables in her garden. Despite the torture she endured from Ryle and her father's lack of love, she is thriving as a mother and a woman by the end. It's also meaningful that Ryle chews into the tattoo of an oak tree heart for inspiration. Despite his best efforts to undermine Lily's resilience, the tattoo and Lily survive. It ends with us by Colleen Hoover caused controversy because of how abuse is romanticized, how domestic violence is used as a plot device, and how the novel ends. It was evident from the first trailer that the film aimed to address the problems with the original work. The plot of domestic abuse was made very evident, as opposed to being presented as a love triangle or romantic tale. Fortunately, the film did the same and fixed the other troublesome parts. The film takes a more nuanced approach to the subject of abuse, emphasizing that, despite Lily's romanticization of the relationship, the circumstances aren't romantic. Atlas uses the word if rather than the word when, which means that Lily has the option to end her pregnancy. This is something the novel never addresses. Unlike in the book, Ryle is not characterized as the good guy abuser. He also exhibits more warning signs right away. Lily also forbids Emerson from spending alone time with Ryle at the film's conclusion. There are two significant and noteworthy modifications from the novel at the end of It Ends With Us. First, the film depicts the period of time between Lily's childbirth and her second encounter with Atlas. Lily acts more upbeat and joyous during this montage, which contrasts with how she behaves when she is with Ryle. She has also gained the expressiveness and vitality she possessed early in the film back, and her face is no longer lifeless. This inclusion demonstrates that having experienced abuse does not preclude leading a happy life. Although the trauma may never go away, Lily need not be defined by it. Second, rather than co-parenting with Ryle, Lily appears to be raising Emerson alone at the end of the film adaptation. This shift gives them hope that they will be able to leave their abusers and provide a better life for their kids than they did. Lily soon finds a support system in Atlas and her mother Alyssa, instead of depending on her violent former partner. Her father has a violent past, so her daughter won't see him. At the end of It Ends With Us, Lily is providing her daughter with the life she would have desired.